Level 1, $0, the invisible neighbor. You move into the apartment with 2 bags and a mattress on the floor. Unit 4B, 3rd floor, thin walls. Your neighbor across the hall, middle-aged guy, works nights, sees you hauling boxes up the stairwell. He doesn't offer to help. He doesn't say hello. He looks at you the way people look at a stain on the carpet, like you're a problem that hasn't been dealt with yet. You smile anyway. He closes his door. That night, his TV is loud until 2 a.m. You knock once politely. He turns it up. You go back to bed. You learn the rules of being broke in a shared building fast. Nobody holds the elevator. Nobody saves your packages. Nobody cares if your heat works. You are invisible. And invisibility at this level isn't power. It's just loneliness with a zip code. Level 2, $10,000, the nod. 8 months later. You've got a job, a real one, direct deposit every other Friday. You buy a small couch, a rug, a coffee maker that actually works. Your apartment looks like someone lives there now. Something shifts. The night shift neighbor, the one who turned up his TV, holds the door open for you one Tuesday morning. Doesn't say anything, just holds it. You almost laugh. $10,000 in a bank account, and suddenly you exist. The woman in 4A asks if you heard the noise last weekend. It's the first time she's spoken to you directly. You have a 2-minute conversation about the building's plumbing. It means nothing. But 3 months ago, she walked past you like you were a ghost. Money doesn't buy respect, but it buys the precondition for it. And right now, a nod and a held door is enough to show you how the game actually works. Level 3, $50,000, the conversation. You move, not far. Same city, better block. 2-bedroom in a low-rise with a small parking lot and a buzzer that actually works. Your neighbor here is a contractor in his early 40s. Truck in the lot, American flag on the balcony, friendly enough. He introduces himself the day you move in. Firm handshake, first name. Let me know if you need anything. You're not sure if he means it, but he said it. That's already different. A few weeks in, he waves from the parking lot. A month in, you talk for 10 minutes about the neighborhood. Where to get good food. Which streets to avoid at night. Who owns the building. Real information, shared freely. You realize something. Neighbors don't give that to everyone. They give it to people they've decided are worth giving it to. And they make that decision in the first 30 seconds of meeting you. Your car, your clothes, the way you carry yourself. $50,000 changed all 3. Level 4, $150,000. The invitation. You buy your first place. Small house, quiet street, 2-car garage you only half fill. The neighbors on the left are a couple in their late 30s. 2 kids, minivan, weekend barbecues. The day you move in, she brings over a plate of food. Actual food, homemade. You stand in your doorway holding a ceramic dish covered in foil and realize you've never experienced this before. Not once. In every apartment, every shared building, every cheap rental, nobody brought food. Nobody welcomed you. Now someone did. Because you bought. Because you're permanent now. An owner. A stakeholder in the street. A few weeks later, they invite you to a cookout. You go. You meet the neighbors on the right. The retired couple across the street. The young family 2 doors down. They ask what you do, where you're from, whether you're married. Normal questions. But underneath them is a quiet evaluation. They're deciding if you belong. You smile. You answer. You bring a good bottle of something. By the end of the night, you've passed. You didn't know there was a test, but there was always a test. Level 5, $500,000, the respect. Different zip code now. The houses have driveways that fit 3 cars. The lawns are landscaped. The streets are quiet in a way that costs money to achieve. Your neighbor to the right is an attorney. Drives a German car. Wife drives a different German car. Their dog has its own groomer. He introduces himself with his full name and a very deliberate handshake. He doesn't bring food. He invites you to dinner. Sit-down dinner, good wine, real conversation. He asks about your work with genuine interest. Not to be polite, to assess. At this level, neighbors aren't just people who live nearby. They're potential allies, potential competition, potential connections. The attorney knows someone who can help with your taxes. His wife knows someone on the city planning board. These aren't casual facts. These are offers, carefully wrapped in dinner conversation. You learn to listen differently, not for what people say, for what they're offering beneath what they say. Wealth changes your neighbors, but it also changes how you hear them. Level 6, $1 million the shift. The house sells for more than you paid. You already knew it would. You buy in a different neighborhood entirely, gated, not ostentatiously. No guard booth, no gold lettering, just a quiet keypad at the entrance and streets that don't appear on most GPS routes. Your neighbor here is in finance, private equity, the kind of work that's hard to explain at parties, so he doesn't try. He's polite, reserved, measured. He doesn't ask what you do. He already knows. Someone told him before you moved in. That's the first sign you've crossed into a different world. People research you here before you arrive. He mentions a club, not by name, just references it casually. You should come by sometime. You nod. You look it up later. Members You thought if you just got to a certain number, the loneliness would stop. It didn't stop. It just became more expensive. Final level, $100 million the mirror. You stand at the window of a property that took 6 months to find and 8 figures to secure. The grounds are immaculate. The perimeter is discreet. There are no neighbors visible from any window. That was part of the search criteria. Someone on your team is on the phone with the nearest landowner, a man whose family has held the adjacent acres since the 1940s. There's a boundary question. Something minor. It'll be resolved. You don't need to handle it. You don't handle much directly anymore. You think about what neighbors meant at every stage. At 0, they ignored you. At 50,000, they talked to you. At 1 million, they researched. At 20 million, they performed for you. At 100 million, they don't see you at all. Full circle. Invisible. Except now the invisibility is engineered. Protected, paid for, deliberate. The man with the TV in apartment 4B across the hall, he's still there probably. Still loud. Still indifferent to anyone below him on whatever scale he measures people by. He never knew what was living. tells. The punchline is always the same. People don't change how they treat people. They change how they treat money. And you just happen to become both.